This is the plaintiff, Tanisa. She says the defendant is her sister and she owes her money, which she refuses to return. If that's not bad enough, she also stole $1,000 in cash from her. So, no, it's not cool of her to be treating her own blood this way. And sister or no sister, she wants the $3,224.30 back, and she wants it now. So she's suing. This is the defendant, Leah Payne. She says her sister did help her out by gifting her some money when times were tough, but there was never any mention of it being paid back. As far as the $1,000 in cash that went missing, she didn't steal it. The plaintiff first accused her brother of taking it, and now for some reason she's going after her for it. But she didn't take it. She's accused of dissing a sister.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You see, they come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Tanisa, you're suing your sister, Leah Payne, for $3,224.30 that you say she owes you, that you fronted to her while you were trying to get her to get back on her feet. What happened here?
I haven't really had a relationship with her. We have the same father but different mothers. And a few years ago, she reached out to me on social media, and we started to develop a relationship. In March, I believe, of last year, she had a child, and she started to come and visit and see me. And then she started complaining about a bad situation at home where she was, they were arguing, and she lives in a small place with her sister's kids, and her mom. And she was saying that they were always arguing, and they were telling her to go to a shelter. And I said, it doesn't make sense for you with a child to go to a shelter. I live in Florida. I said, if you want to come
Where
down,
was she living?
in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I moved from Boston to Florida with a child. And so I said, I can show you how I did it. The cost of living is a lot less down here. And I told her that, if you want to come down, I'll sign you up for school so you can get your degree. Plus, you could get some money with financial aid that'll help you out. You can stay with me for a couple months, but you have to pay me $200. And the reason I said $200 is because I have an older son who's 24. He pays $200. I'm not letting another adult in my house who's not going to contribute when I have my own son contributing.
But now you did know that she was coming down and she wouldn't have a job, right?
That's not true. She was working at Home Goods in Boston.
Okay.
And the plan, because she came down in May, and she was originally supposed to stay, but she said she wanted to go back, leave Home Goods on good terms so that she could transfer down to Tampa.
And to a Home Goods there?
Yes, because there's a Home Goods down the street.
Okay.
So when she got to Tampa, she called Home Goods and didn't like the attitude of the manager. So then she decided she didn't want to transfer to Home Goods. But in the meantime, she was destructive in my house.
How?
She turned on my outdoor grill with the grill cover on, and it melted all over the grill. I have outlet covers that sometimes when you can't fit the plug in, the plug falls out. So she broke it. She broke my son's controller. She gave my laptop to her 1-year-old who threw it on the floor, broke the laptop. And those are things I'm not even suing for. What I'm suing for is when she had the baby and she came down in September of 2018, her boyfriend had broken her phone. And I told her, I was like, it's really irresponsible to have an infant and not have a phone when you can't call for emergencies.
People did it forever.
Yeah. But then...
And people do it in other countries all the time.
No, I get it.
All right, so you wanted her to have a phone, so what happened?
Not that I wanted her. She's been asking me for years to buy her a phone and pay for the bill. And I tell her, no, I have a message here where she had asked me, can you get me a phone and pay for the bill? And until she gets a job, I said, I can't afford that kind of bill. So then we finally agreed that she would pay $60 a month on the bill, which isn't even the whole bill. So I was giving her a deal. So she did pay it because she was working at Home Goods. She paid it sporadically.
Oh, so this is all before she moves down?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she paid it sporadically, but she was paying it, and she'd call me and say, I know I'm late. I know that, I still owe you, but I'm going to give it to you. And the last payment she made was in May of, I think, $240.
When did she move down?
She moved down in June.
Okay.
So she was paying on it, and I have the payments.
So did she pay June, July, August, September, anything since May?
No. She actually left me a really vulgar message saying, I'm not giving you bleep.
What went wrong?
What went wrong was when my cousin Takia first came down to visit, it was like this jealousy thing. Like, I don't know if I was giving Takia more attention and she wasn't liking it, but she just started doing really crazy things.
Like what?
There was one time when Takia and I are talking, she kept interrupting. She decides it would be a good idea to wrestle me, and I had a long dress on. She took her fingers and shoved her finger in my behind, and I pushed her off.
What?
Yes. She said that's how I play where I'm from, and we're from the same place.
Okay. I've been to Boston.
Yeah, I don't play like that.
Okay. All right, go on.
And then she also would she liked to grab boobs, which is another way for her to play. She'd grab my boobs, twist my boobs, and I had surgery, and I explained to her, like, this hurts me. Don't do that. It's not funny, and she keep doing it.
Okay, but what happened to change that caused the problem? Because it sounds like that was, you say she kept doing it, so that's a chronic thing. What happened that all of a sudden everything went to garbage in your relationship?
It was when my cousin Takia came down, and it was a buildup of things she was doing before, just the vulgar language. I have 3 children in the house, plus my niece.
How well did you know her before you brought her into your house?
I thought I knew her well, but I mean, I will say that my dad did warn me, and my dad said, don't let her come down. But when he was giving me that explanation that she steals, she lies, she, is ratchet or whatever, he was talking about when she was a teenager. And when she visited, I never saw that behavior from her. It wasn't until much later. And the other thing that she was doing is causing a lot of drama in my house. Like I said, I have an older son who's 24. He has friends that I've known for years that I'm like the neighborhood mom. They come over and hang at my house. I noticed that they all stopped coming over. So one day she went to work, and I started making calls to see what was going on. And as soon as they heard she wasn't at work, they all came over. And it turns out that she had been sleeping with all of them.
All right, so you're suing for numerous things. Her plane ticket down to move. According to you, the rent from June and July that she had agreed to pay. The balance of canceling her cell phone contract because she hasn't paid. The cell phone bill itself. Uber rides of $167.54. Where did that, how do you know which Uber rides were hers?
You can see the track because she got a job at TJ Maxx, which I told her not to get because it cost $40 to get there and back. She doesn't have a license. She was only making $9 an hour and working 4-hour shifts. So I'm like, you're paying to go to work. It makes no sense.
Right.
But she insisted on doing it. And my cousin overheard her. We talked about it, me telling her not to take it. She insisted on doing this job and said, I'll pay you back as soon as I get my paycheck. And to be honest, I was like, okay, I just wanted her out of the house because she was just causing so much havoc in the house.
Well, it wasn't just havoc. According to you, she stole $1,000. What evidence do you have that she stole $1,000?
So I sold my car, and I got $5,000 in cash from the car. She was with me. She's the only one that knew that I had the money, how much money I had, and where it was. The day I went to go make a deposit into my bank account, and I noticed money was missing. But then I remembered.
How long did you have money in it? Where did you keep the money?
I hid it in a makeup bag.
Okay, why would you? That's not exactly hiding it. If someone else sees you, hide it.
Well,
so when
I
you say
trusted
she's
her.
the only one who knew I had the money and where I put it, why would you hide it in front of another person?
I trusted her pretty much.
Okay, so you sat there and said, watch where I hide this? Because I trust, I could trust somebody, but I know what the word hiding means, and I wouldn't do it in front of them. So tell me what's going on here.
So, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm a little excited. So pretty much in May, when I went to go visit her, my boyfriend, he got into a really bad argument with his mother. The argument had to do with me. So, and I vented to my sister. I told her, I was just like, look, I'm uncomfortable. They keep telling me to go to a shelter. She offered for me to stay with her.
What made you decide to move to Florida?
What made me decide to move to Florida was she got arrested. She got arrested. She called me. We're on the phone, and she's telling me.
What was she arrested for?
She was arrested for 2 counts of grand theft and for $100,000 or more, as well as 1 count fraudulent use of a credit card. So I found that out, and I was like, wow, my sister needs my help. I need to go help her. You know what I mean? She's expressed to me multiple times, plenty of times I've gone down there, that she needs help when it comes to her kids. She told me that no family that she has down there she is close with. She has a brother and a mother who live in Florida. She does not have any contact with them. They are not close. They just recently got close because she got custody of her brother's daughter.
So she got arrested, and what were you supposed to be doing when she got arrested? How were you going to help that?
I was supposed to be mental support, spiritual support, and when I got a job, financial support when I got a job. When I got back from my trip in May, I lost my job because she extended my trip. I was supposed to leave for my trip in
She
May.
extended your trip. Why didn't you just go home?
Because this is my sister, and
You felt like staying. You're the one who lost your job. Nobody else lost it for you.
True, I did. I felt like staying. I wanted to spend more time with her. I enjoyed her company. I felt as though she enjoyed mine as well.
All right, so according to her, you owe her a ton of money for a ton of different things. According to her, you owe her for your plane ticket because you were supposed to pay her back. You owe her rent for June and July. You owe her for the phone, both its use and the fact that she had to cancel it because you stopped paying, and you owe her for Uber rides.
Yes.
Do you owe her or do you not owe her?
If anything, she's owed for the phone bill. That's what
Okay,
she's
let's
owed
separate
for.
the phone bill then and let's talk about the other stuff. Were you supposed to pay her back for the flight down?
No, I was not supposed to pay her back for the flight down. The flight down, she told me I did not have to pay her back. The only reason why I would have to pay her back if I did not utilize that ticket, because it would be a waste of her money.
Okay, what about rent for June and July?
So pretty much the rent for June and July,
Were you supposed to pay $200 a month rent?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. What about
I
the
agree with that.
Uber rides? Was she paying for your Uber rides to and from work?
Yeah, she was.
And you were supposed to pay that back?
No, I was not. She never told me that I had to pay her back for the Uber ride. She said
Why would she fund your Uber rides to go to work? Especially if the whole idea of work is for you to pay rent that you also didn't pay.
Because from the moment that I got down there, before I even left to go to Florida, I had a conversation with her. I told her, I don't have any money right now. I'm broke. Like, I
Okay,
don't
that
have
explains
any money.
why. But that explains why you couldn't pay that second. That doesn't explain why you don't pay all this other time. Where's the phone?
I have it right here.
You have it.
She broke it, left it when I kicked her out of the house.
She broke it.
I can't sell
Show
it.
it to me.
I can't do anything with it.
Did you break the phone in anger when she
No, the
asked
phone was already broken, Your Honor. The phone
Who
had
broke
been...
it?
Huh?
Who broke it?
It was broken on accident. There's a couple of scenarios on how the phone was broken.
Let me ask you a question. Did she accuse you of stealing the $1,000?
Yeah, she did.
And before that accusation, were you guys getting along fine, or was it already testy?
No, it was perfectly fine. Before her cousin arrived, we had a perfect relationship. There wasn't any issues.
Tell me how it goes about that she accuses you of the $1,000.
That came up after I left. I didn't take any money from her. The entire time I was with her.
Did you ever talk to her about the $1,000 and
No,
say,
we
I
never,
didn't take your money?
we'd never had a conversation. I have a message.
When you left, why did you end up leaving? Did she tell you got to go?
When I left, I ended up leaving because we got into a really bad argument.
What was the argument about?
The argument was pretty much about my behavior, how I was acting in her house, how I was acting with my nephew's friends and stuff like that.
Were you sleeping around with all your nephew's friends? Because that's kind of...
No, I was not sleeping with all of them. I slept with 2 of them.
That's too many. That's your nephew.
That is too many. It is,
Okay.
I'm not saying what I did was right. I'm not saying anything I did. I'm not saying I'm right in anything I did. But what I am saying is that it's not this serious. You know what?
All right, so you have your cousin here, and you have your father here. May I hear from the father?
Welcome back to People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, would you sue your brother or sister if they really screwed you over and borrowed money and just said, I'm not going to pay?
Oh, I can't. My heart won't let me.
Your heart won't let you.
No.
I would sue him to death.
Wow, you got some history here.
Yes, I have a lot of history here. But I learned that if you don't loan money to a relative,
You don't have to worry
you
about
have to worry about it.
it. Would you do it? Would you sue a brother or sister?
Absolutely not. I just couldn't do it.
Really?
I think, yeah.
What if it's for $1,000?
No,
$5,000?
no.
$10,000?
Love him too much.
$100,000?
Maybe.
God, it's so easy going inside the courtroom.
You are both of their fathers, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a relationship with both of them?
Basically, I had custody of Alea from the age of 14, and Alea was pretty rebellious. If there was any kind of responsibility or maturity that I expected from her, it was met with rebellion, major arguments, disrespect.
Did you ever have reason to believe she was a thief?
She managed to find my rent money, and she stole half of it.
How do you know that?
She's the only one in the house.
Did you warn her that maybe it wasn't the best idea?
Yes, I did. I told Tanisha about the issue of the rent. Alea had taken half of my
Was that
rent.
before or after you hid it in front of her?
Well, he told me before, but
Yeah, exactly.
no, I get it.
Right. Did she hide that money in front of you?
Yeah, she did, as well as anytime that I was.
Did you take that money?
No, I did not. I was the main person in the house who would give her the money. Anytime she would
Give her what money?
Give her, meaning like give her makeup bag. You know what I mean? She would have people come over. She would have her brother come over, which is who she thought
meaning for
originally.
safekeeping?
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Okay.
Yeah, like I would put it up. I would give it to her. I would put it on top of the refrigerator where she would normally hide it, or I would give it to her. I wouldn't take anything from her. I really do love her so much.
Everything went right into the garbage.
It did, and I'm not the type of person to steal from her. I would never steal from her. The only reason why I stole from my father when I was a child is because he was not taking adequate care of me. He wasn't doing anything a parent really should be doing. He was buying music equipment when he should have been buying me necessities like toiletries, like bras, like feminine need things. He wasn't doing anything. I ended up going into foster care because he wasn't taking adequate care of me. So
I don't think anybody knows who stole that money. And I don't think that there's any proof regarding who stole the money. There is clearly proof regarding, have you taken that phone in to see what they will give you? Because, you know, the screens can get fixed. You know.
Yeah, but she's broken this phone 3 times. It's not even.
Well, but that's your opinion. Did you actually, do you have evidence of what it's worth by somebody giving you an estimate, either Apple or somebody else giving, is that an Apple?
Yeah, it's an iPhone
Apple or
X.
somebody else giving you an estimate of what it's worth. Do you have some evidence for me to see? So then this is where we play the guessing game. All right, folks. I am ordering you to pay her all of the money that she's suing for with the exception of the $1,000. I don't think there's proof that you stole the $1,000. Therefore,
Okay.
I'm ordering a judgment in her favor in the amount of $2,244.30. Okay? You know, you invested a great deal of money in your sister. And, you know, that's good. That's what family's for and all that kind of stuff. But the writing was on the wall pretty early. I'm not talking about trusting what he says, because I see how you might say, hey, give her a chance. That's not the person I know. All that I don't think was you know, wrong of you. But what I'm saying is, you know, it's week after week after week after week, month after month after month after month. You've got your own responsibilities and your own kids, and that's what ended up making you mad at her. But I want you at some point to have the maturity also to look at your conduct. You thought it would be fun. You thought you could help each other, but it wasn't necessarily a wise thing to do, especially the iPhone. All right? Verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,244.30.
So the plaintiff prevails. She is going to get some money back, a little over $2,200. You're going to have to pay your sister, you know?
I mean,
how you going to do it?
Is. I mean, I'll figure it out. She can't buy edges, so bye.
You're shaking your head. You're shaking your head, you know?
Yeah. She's just ridiculous. She's very immature, so I think she just showed that to the world.
You know, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No kidding. And you said you didn't know her very well. You didn't have much of a relationship.
Not at all, and I don't want one ever.
Really?
Really.
It's over, huh?
Done.
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. How about you? What do you have to say?
I'm disappointed because she's stepping into an adult world, and the adult world is where the reality is. And I tried preparing her for it. She doesn't want to hear it, so she has to learn the hard way.
She's got a tough future, I think. You think?
Oh, yeah, she does. Okay. She does. She doesn't realize that I'm in her corner, but she still has to do what she has to do.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Doug, look, you cannot prove a case like this by just theorizing about motive. You have to have evidence to prove who stole the money.